Alright guys, we're back with another Gen 6 Wi-Fi battle, and today we're having a double battle against Sorab, aka SonicUpdater. Now before I begin, I want to let you guys know this guy has two YouTube channels. I'm not kidding. One of them I think is devoted to Halo, and the other is more or less to Sonic. So I'm going to provide the link to the channel that I believe would be recommended. So don't forget to check him out. He does like some news regarding Sonic, though with the recent announcement of the Sonic Boom and everything, it's going to be good. Anyway, this is a double battle, and he wanted me to test out a new team he has, so I figure why not? How wrong I'd be. He starts off with, I believe, Gastrodon and Carbink, and I start off with Ferrothorn and Gardevoir. I trace the Gardevoir Storm Drain, and I go for a Calm Mind, because I need to be on the defensive against this thing. Yeah, I need to, because in order to get myself the needed boost, I have to. So anyway, he sets up a Stockpile, and Stockpile basically adds like defense and special defense to your stats. Like you could do it up to 3 times and you'll have like 2.5 plot, like plus 2.5 on defense and special defense. I set up the Stealth Rocks so that way I can be able to be ready. And Tarbink unfortunately goes for a Trick Room. And the Trick Room, believe it or not, twists the dimensions. Basically, I'm like, I attack first normally and then go second. But in Trick Room, it's reversed, which second goes first and vice versa. I go for the Leech Seed to try like Gastrodon to drain its HP, but Gardevoir gets toxic thanks to, I believe, Carbink. He sets up another Stockpile, which makes 2, and if he hits like the 3 max, I can tell this guy is going to be a major problem. Though it's nothing compared to what I got to deal with later on. I go for another Calm Mind, which makes 2. I need to build up as much strength as possible so I can just deliver the pain to him. Though to be fair, I should have given Gardevoir a Grass Knot, replacing a Thunderbolt. Grass Knot would have been much better against that thing. That Gastrodon, that is so damn annoying. I get Poison Hacks, though Leech Seed helps keep my Ferrothorn alive. I go for the Gyro Ball, since I'm basically a bit slower, it doesn't do that much, but it's super effective since my Ferrothorn is Steel. He goes for 1 more and he stockpiles 3. With 3 max, he basically can withstand anything. Though I have to wonder for a fact that this thing is bulky. I go for a Thunderbolt, and thanks to the +2 special attack, Carbink goes down. If only I knew the tragedy that would soon befall me later down the road. Yeah, I'm not kidding. There is more trouble than it is in this game, this battle. Anyway, I get HP up thanks to Leech Seed. However, Gardevoir suffers more and more HP drops. He now sends out Hariyama, and I never thought I'd be seeing Hariyama here. But either way, thanks to Stealth Rock, he suffers a bit of damage. I should have not switched. I should have instead went for a Psychic Attack, so that way I could just take it down. But I go for an Arcanine because I know that is one of my mistakes I pull off. I go for another Leech Seed so I can drain it down, and he decides instead to go for an Infestation. Now, this is rather unique. Gardevoir with Infestation, this is actually pretty clever. It really is. However, sadly, Gastrodon suffers damage. Hariyama, unfortunately, delivers a Flamethrower, which does a crapload of damage and takes down my Ferrothorn. Damn, that just really hurts badly. However, though, thanks to the fact that my Ferrothorn's now down, the Leech Seed, I believe, made me null and void. It's gone. So I send in my Greninja, and I believe by this point, maybe the Twisted Dimensions have been restored or something. No, not really. He now switches his Hariyama and sends out Talonflame. And Talonflame, this Talonflame better have Gale Wings. If he does have Gale Wings, I know I'm screwed. He goes for a Recover, basically like shaving off the damage that he received from Leech Seed along with the Iron Bars and such. And that doesn't do much. I go for a Crunch, but due to Stockpile, the damage was actually that minuscule. It really was that minuscule, believe me. I also decided to go for a Grass Knot, and I don't know what I was thinking at this point. I chose the wrong target because I was going to go for Hariyama because of his heavy weight, but I instead went to Talonflame, and that ended up making things worse. It didn't do much damage, though I have a funny feeling that I believe Brave Bird will kick in and deliver pain. Oh wait, the Leech Seed is still there. It just needed another Pokemon to do it. Anyway, I need to make a switch because I'm not going to get hit by that Flare Blitz or a Brave Bird. And I decided to send my trusted Chansey, who has never let me down in battle. Turns out he does use a Brave Bird, and instead, Brave Bird, believe it or not, would have went for Chansey. It does more than half, but sadly, the recoil damage makes it more difficult. Oy. And not to mention, he suffers he has a Life Orb, which, wasted. I go for another Crunch, and the Crunch doesn't do that much. And yeah, that Gardevoir, just one threat that I don't want to deal with. He goes for a Toxic, but misses, and I'm like, here, nice. At least I don't suffer the same fate as that my Gardevoir. And he suffers another HP drop courtesy of Gastrodon. Though I feel I should have just toxic the dang thing and just would stall it out and it would die. Now he sends in Hariyama once again, the big, bulky, sumo wrestler type thingy. Anyway, he stugs in with Hariyama, suffers damage, and goes for a Focus Blast and misses. I, meanwhile, go for a Flare Blitz, and I'm hoping that I could be able to take that thing down hard and fast. To my surprise, I do. But it turned out it was a Zoroark in disguise. Oh, man, I really didn't see that coming. At least, I thought it would have Flamethrower, but that really did throw me for a loop. I go for a Seismic Toss with Chansey to deal 50 damage to Gastrodon, but thanks to like the huge HP he has, damage isn't that much. Now it suffers an Infestation, and I'm beginning to see what he's planning with it. Basically, he's using Infestation to trap Pokemon, preventing them from switching, all while at the same time trying to survive and trying to deal with all this. Yeah. That's a really clever strategy, my friend. Very, very clever. I gotta admit, this guy is actually pretty good. It does like 42 damage. And now he sends in the real Hariyama. And since I can't get my Chansey out, he does suffer damage from Stealth Rocks. He goes now for a Fake Out, and the Fake Out doesn't do much, but it prevents Chansey from healing with Softball, so that sucks. I go for a Crunch, and the Crunch does little damage, gets the flinch, Chansey gets the flinch, and Gastrodon recuperates more than half its HP. Now you begin to understand that if you don't pay attention to your surroundings and know all your options, you're going to end up suffering the consequences for it. And I'm learning that the hard way now. Even though he recovered, he still suffers from HP drop. If that flinch never happened, I would have at least used a softball to get myself back up to full strength. However, sadly, I have to contend with the Infestation, which is a huge problem. And he gets the burn, which means I'm thinking Guts Hariyama. And the Guts Hariyama, that thing is dangerous with Facade. It's dangerous. I go for a Flare Blitz. That does a lot of damage, and I get a lot of recoil, but it doesn't really do much, since now that it's burned, it's going to be able to do double damage, and I can end up being in trouble. He goes for a Facade, and it takes down my Arcanine, and I'm like, oh man, that thing's deadly. Deadly and dangerous. Gastrodon goes for the Toxic, and badly poisons my Chansey, and since I can't switch, that makes the situation a lot tougher now. It really is a lot tougher, believe me. This is bad. I know that this double battles are new and like different and everything. And double battles add like a whole new level of strategy, a whole new level of planning, because you don't even know what to expect. Because it could literally turn the battle on its head. It really can. And judging by what you're seeing right now, it shows. Sam's already now having a good lead, having everything set up and everything. He can withstand all sorts of punishment and all that. I now send in my Gardevoir, and I'm thinking this is where things get really desperate by this point. I'm not playing around. I decided to just Mega Evolve and take down that Hariyama before it causes any more problems. I'm hoping that my Gardevoir is faster, because if not, I'm screwed. I really am. Hariyama decides now to go for a Bullet Punch, and the Bullet Punch does a lot of damage, but he survives barely. That doesn't really make much difference, because the poison is just going to take it down either way. Yeah, it's like a 1-for-1 thing. Like an eye for an eye. I go now for a Seismic Toss, hoping that I can do damage, hoping to kill it, but I don't. He now decides to go for a Recover yet again. I was just freaking angry. I was angry because I can't believe I'm not going to survive this. Dear God, what do I do now? This is bad. This is really, really bad. Ugh. Yeah, I get the Leech Seed, but I don't think it matters because poison damage is going to keep building and building and building until Chansey goes down. Trust me, that's the bad thing about Toxic. Once you're Toxic, you're badly poisoned, the poison's going to slowly creep up on you little by little, and then you're gone. And that's how it happened to Gardevoir, despite the fact it survived barely. Unfortunately, my Chansey's not going to last much longer thanks to Infestation and Toxic kicking in. I'm running out of time and I'm running out of options, so I gotta make this fast. I send in my Greninja hoping to just finish the job, and he sends in Kangaskhan. Oh no, Kangaskhan. One of the few Pokemon that I don't like seeing in battle. Many say in Smogon that Kangaskhan had his banned, but now he brings in Mega Kangaskhan. And with Mega Kangaskhan's parental bonding, he goes for a Fake Out, and that does not just once, but twice. It does double damage and gets a crit, and I get the flinch, and I'm literally PO'd. I go for the Thunder Wave hoping to paralyze it, and I do think it would help, but that gets thrown out the window. I should have just focused my attention on Gardevoir because now it's at full strength, and that's not going to really make much difference because now my team's wiped. My team is absolutely wiped by this point. I have to give credit to Sam. This guy actually knows what he's doing with this. It's really fun. Though at first I got really angry that I got my butt kicked. And we actually talked about this. I was just so pissed off. I was saying stuff like, the hell with Kangaskhan. Kangaskhan, I should be banned and everything. Which, according to Small Gun, it is, but not to VGC. Because VGC and Small Gun play differently. They do. I sent in my last Pokemon Electivire, hoping that I could do, like, some damage. I go for the Grass Knot, and the Grass Knot does a load of damage. More than half, and finally, now I can fight back. I now decide to go for a Thunder Punch, and I'm hoping, please let the Thunder Punch hit. Please let it hit. Please let it get paralyzed, or something, anything, I don't care. He gets a Toxic off, and now my Electivire is badly poisoned. Now he decides to go for a Power-Up Punch, and that does a load of damage. He attacks not once, but twice, thanks to Parental Bonding, and he gets 2 attack boosts instead of 1. 2 attack boosts instead of 1. That just sucks badly. Now my Greninja's dead. My Greninja's dead, and all I have left is my Electivire. And to be fair, I got no regrets battling this guy. I don't, but at least I learned an important lesson. I need to prepare myself fully against stuff like this. Against Mega Kangaskhan, so I don't suffer the same fate like that again. I detest Mega Kangaskhan. Especially since it can attack twice, it can basically shut a team down considerably. Yeah, I'm done talking about this sort of thing. Thank you very much for the battle, Sam. Your double team kicked my ass, but I still feel it also pissed me off. Whatever, it doesn't matter. Check out his channel. If you enjoy it, please hit that like button. I apologize if I'm being a bit negative. I need to cool off for a bit, so I'll see you guys in the next battle. Alright, peace.